Welcome back to Coin Explorer. Today, we're diving into a story that blends history, artistry, and a hint of mystery, all wrapped up in a small piece of metal that has traveled through hands, pockets, and decades. It's a coin that might look ordinary, but its story is anything but. This is the 1990 South African 2 Rand coin, a piece that holds more than just monetary value. In the right condition and with the right characteristics, some of these coins have been known to fetch impressive amounts in collector circles, sometimes reaching into the thousands, depending on rarity and demand. So before you toss aside that old change or ignore the coins sitting in your drawer, hear me out, because this 2 Rand could be hiding a tale worth telling. Let's take a trip back to 1990. South Africa was at a turning point. Nelson Mandela had just been released from prison after 27 long years. Apartheid laws were beginning to crumble, and the world's eyes were fixed on this nation as it prepared to step into a new era. It was a time of tension, hope, and massive change, and even the country's currency reflected the shifts taking place. The South African Mint was producing coins that, in hindsight, became silent witnesses to history. The 2 Rand coin minted in this year wasn't just a means of buying bread or a bus ticket. It was part of a national narrative, a symbol of stability in a time when the political landscape was shifting beneath everyone's feet. Pick up a 1992 Rand coin, and the first thing you notice is its shape, a standard round form, but with designs that speak volumes. On one side, you'll see the proud, detailed South African coat of arms. This emblem, used before the updated post-apartheid version, features a lion, a wildebeest, and other heraldic symbols that tell the story of the nation's identity at the time. On the reverse, the elegant head of a kudu antelope, South Africa's largest antelope species, takes center stage. Its spiral horns curve upward in graceful arcs, instantly recognizable to anyone familiar with the country's wildlife. And let's not forget the inscriptions, Suid-Afrika and South Africa on the obverse, showing the country's bilingual heritage in Afrikaans and English. The 1992 Rand coin was struck in nickel-plated copper. This gave it a silvery white color with a slightly warm tone, different from the cooler shade of pure nickel. It was designed for durability, able to withstand years of circulation without losing its defining details. In mint condition, the coin shines with a smooth metallic luster, but over time, circulation pieces tend to develop soft wear around the edges of the kudu's horns or the fine lines of the coat of arms. For collectors, coins with crisp details and minimal scratches are the real prize. Now here's where things get interesting. 1990 was not just another year for South Africa. It was the year that signaled the beginning of the end for apartheid. The release of Mandela in February sparked a wave of optimism, but also uncertainty. In such transformative times, even small, everyday objects like coins become part of the cultural fabric. Holding a 1992 Rand is, in a sense, holding a piece of that transitional history. It's metal that has passed through the hands of people living in a society on the brink of reinvention. Why collectors care? You might wonder, why would anyone pay more than face value for a coin that's barely 3 decades old? Well, in numismatics, value is driven by 3 main factors: condition, rarity, and demand. Some 1992 Rand coins stand out because of low mintage runs, minting variations, or even striking errors. For example, coins with slight misalignments, doubled lettering, or unusual surface textures can spark bidding wars among collectors. And while not every coin will fetch a fortune, the most pristine examples, especially those certified by professional grading services, can sell for hundreds or even thousands, depending on market trends. The mystery of mintage. Here's the thing. The South African Mint doesn't always make a big announcement when a coin year has a lower production number. That means it's up to collectors to discover patterns and anomalies through careful study. Over time, certain dates in the 2 Rand series have proven harder to find in top condition. And while 1990 isn't the rarest year in absolute numbers, The political climate of that period and the coin's role in it give it a unique appeal. Let me share a story. A few years ago, a South African expatriate living in Australia was going through an old family coin jar. Among the mix of cents, old pennies, and foreign currency was a 1992 Rand coin. At first, it looked just like any other, slightly worn with a soft shine, but upon closer inspection, it had an unusual die crack running near the kudu's ear. Curious, the owner sent it to be graded. When it came back, it had been given an exceptionally high grade for a circulated coin, and because of its unique minting flaw, it caught the eye of multiple collectors. Within weeks, it sold at an online auction for well into the four-figure range. The point is, coins like the 1992 Rand may be common in some households, but certain examples carry qualities that transform them from pocket change into historical artifacts with collector value. You never know until you check. How to identify a standout coin. If you have a 1992 Rand and you're wondering whether it might be special, here are a few things to look for. 1. Condition. The less wear, the better. Sharp edges, clear lettering, and strong design details are key. 2. Minting errors. Look for doubled letters, die cracks, or off-center strikes. 3. Unusual coloration. Natural toning from age can be attractive to some collectors if it's even and appealing. Certification. If you believe your coin is exceptional, sending it to a grading service like NGC or PCGS can boost its credibility and value. Why this coin still resonates today. Beyond monetary worth, the 1992 Rand is a tangible reminder of a country on the edge of monumental change. Think about it. How many people handled these coins on the very days when Mandela walked free? How many transactions, conversations, and moments of everyday life did they witness? Coins are more than just currency. They are storytellers. So, the next time you see a 2 Rand coin from 1990, don't just see a piece of metal. See a snapshot of South Africa's journey. Maybe yours is just an ordinary example. Or maybe, just maybe, it's one of the rarities that could be worth far more than face value. But even if it's not destined for an auction house, it's still a piece of living history, carrying the weight of a year that changed a nation. So, coin explorers, keep looking, keep learning, and always check your change, because you never know when the smallest object could hold the biggest story. Thanks for watching.